Alright, hey guys, welcome to the Asian Garage. Again, it's been a while. So today we are here at the big site. Where is it? So this one here. So what we have today is the Japan Mobility Show, and there's going to be lots of EVs, lots of tier 1, tier 2 stuff, and we're going to take a look. Now I'm here officially on my actual company work, but I will snap some shots here and there, get some videos in, see what's the latest with all the OEMs, especially the Japanese car makers. There's going to be lots of them. I know there's going to be some BYD shit, but I don't know. We'll see how the ICE engines are going, and we'll see where it goes from here. Let's go. Alright everyone, we're in, and so the first thing we're going to do is go to the west side, because I think that's where all the tier 1 stuff are. And you can see there's still lots of people streaming in. It's going to be really crowded. It's 10 o'clock. We have about 9 hours to go through everything, so let's take our time and get as much video. Alright, and we are starting strong with Nissan. So this is supposed to be like the West Hall, where it's supposed to be like tier 1 and stuff, so I'm not sure why this is here. Might have taken a wrong look at the map, but here we go. We got Nissan, we got their Rooks. So I don't know if this is like an EV, definitely seems like an EV type thing. And we got all this stuff here. Very nice boxy car. I don't think they'll ever sell in the US, probably for the Japanese market. And that, oh my gosh, that is huge. Wow. So everyone's going, EV and stuff. We got the X Trail right here. I think this will be for the US market. Looks very good. Now, ever since Carlos Ghosn did his shit, Nissan has been going to shit as well. Now, I'm not sure if they'll ever pick up. Seems like they're doing pretty okay. Let's take a closer look. Alright, so this is the Nissan Ariya. It's the EV that they have, and right there is where the charging is. So you look at all the functions here. You got the air conditioning, which is still kind of manual, which is kind of cool, I guess. Yeah, it's gonna be expensive to fix. And everything else, we got this whole dashboard all the way across. This looks very much like, I don't know, like some e-appliance that you have at home. So the air conditioning controls are here, which is kind of cool because it's, there's a haptic touch to it. Kind of. Of course, the volume's here. So this looks kind of like forced into the whole dashboard here. Kind of decent. And we got the rear view camera, which if you press, it's supposed to look inside, but it's not. So it's for night mode basically. So back then in the day, you had a reflective mirror here. And of course, we have the sunroof. Back seats all look good. The material isn't as good. It does feel very plasticky. But this is the latest EV that they have. And as for the back seats, we can see that there are heaters here. There's no cooling though. Is there a heater? Yeah, it's just heaters, no cooling. There's no entertainment at the back, as you really kind of expect for an EV nowadays. There's really nothing here for people at the back to play with. Like most cars you see, the Lucids, they would have a screen. I mean, how much does it cost to really put a screen here? Right. Now the material, of course, this is Alcantara. At least they put a touch to it. The stitching looks good. But again, this is a show model. These are pretty interesting. I'm not sure what they have here, but oh my gosh, is this a press type? This is so ridiculous. I mean, at this stage you'd think, hey, why are we still having a press open type? Should it not be open at least? I mean, it is convenient. So this is like one of the Chademo ones, you can recall. But this is still a press. This is kind of disappointing. Now for the trunk, you do have a spare, is that a spare wheel? Jeez, why would you have a spare wheel here? And that's the battery there? So there's not a lot of storage space. Well, this is an EV. You would expect more because the battery should be much lower. Yeah, nothing special. This all feels very last season. Now at least this closes on itself, so that's cool. This is all E-activated right now. That's pretty good. Alright, so I guess this is what everyone wants to see. The Nissan Fairlane to see. And I believe this is an EV. I don't know. We'll take a look when we get in. Alright, so as per the manufacturer, this is going to stay an ICE engine, a combustion engine. And the brakes on the rear surprisingly seem a little small, like they're a little thin. The fronts are, I think, 2 or 3. There's going to be a 3-pot caliper in the front. So if we take a look here, it's a 2-pot caliper. Oh well, pretty big though. The build, as you can see, it's still very fair lady. And I think it's our turn to get in, so let's take a look. Whoa, sorry, let's take a look. Alright, and we're in, and oh, it's a manual! Alright, so things are going to stay manual for the time being. This is going to be really great. And the steering wheel looks pretty good, so we got all these functions here. Huge screen. It does seem a little forced in here, like there's no smoothness to it. There are gauges for the battery and stuff like that. There's boost, turbo speed. Okay, got the RPMs there. This is interesting. Like you still have a wire-based, e-brake here. Everything still feels pretty good. The handle is the same, standard Fairlady style. Air conditionings are still manual. Everything looks pretty good. This is a Fairlady, but I don't see much improvements here. So I don't know. Do you think it's anything awesome? It's Alcantara leather, and of course a phone charging leash. All right, let's move on. So yeah, the brakes are 2-pot calipers. We don't see really much differences since the last Fairlady Z. I mean, it looks a little bit more sharp with the angles here, so you can see. Very nice paint with all the sparkle. However, I don't see this as anything amazing, to be honest. It's still a standard, ICE engine. I don't know what kind of specs there are. I'm gonna ask around a little bit, so let's ask around. Alright, so per the Nissan, this is gonna be a V6 3-liter twin turbo. But even then, it's only gonna be 405 horsepower. And the 0 to 100 or the 0 to 60 is a 4.2 seconds. That is really not impressive considering, hey, it's 400 horsepower. It must be heavy as shit. I mean, you got a V6 in here with a twin turbo. And if you look at what we have with the Audi TTs, it's a VR6. And if you add a twin turbo in there, you could probably go up to 500 and much faster speeds, right? So I'm really not impressed. It does look really good. I think they could do much better. Alright, we have the BMW Concept Speed Top, and it says it's going to be a V8 engine. Nothing about turbos, nothing. So if we look at the exterior design, it's a lot of flowing lines. We look around it right here. Let's look at the real stuff. The standard BMW grille, you have that. I'm really glad that they decided to reduce the size. It's not that big bucktooth design anymore. Well, this is a concept car, and I was hoping that they'll move away from that tooth design. It's going to be a 4-seater, but we don't really see much space at the back there. It seems like it's going to be really cramped. There is a lot of storage space at the back, it seems. Sorry. It's a little weird there, but I guess it is a little streamlined. It looks like a wagon. This is an interesting car because it's like a coupe and a wagon, so make up your mind, but huge wheels, a lot of offset there you can see, as well as the fronts there. Brakes, crazy huge. I don't know, that is a huge ass door for gas. Like seriously, that is a huge ass door. Not liking it. Alright, says here this is a fuel cell system. So we got the air intake here coming in and going out here, and of course this is where the exhaust is gonna be. And it's kind of like a turbo, I would think. So I think it's a turbo. And then intake comes in here. And I don't know, this is a fuel cell system, but so this would be where the inverter would be for the motor, or maybe where it's charging, and then of course you charge, always converts it to electricity and comes out. So if it says fuel cell, so I'm not sure if this is like a, I don't know. This is interesting. It's hydrogen-based combustion or something. Alright, and we see here as well the BMW hydrogen car. So that's a huge ass grille as usual. Sorry, lots of people around, and lots of pretty ladies at the booth there as well. So if we go around this is a hydrogen-based car. I can't really see much of the inside right now. We're not allowed to touch it, so it's all a toss-up, right? Is this really going to be somewhere in the future where we're going to see hydrogen instead of natural gasoline, or is this going to be all EVs? It's probably all concept at this point of time. We'll see how BMW goes with this. And we have, I don't know what the hell this is. It says it's a Forever Adventure. Looks very much like an outdoor SUV kind of, it says Grand Trek on the wheels there. If this is outdoors and a rock hits the windows, you're fucked, right? And we got some trailer behind as well. It looks all futuristic and stuff, but you're not gonna last a day out in the field. Okay, it's called the Elevance concept. Looks very slick, looks very cyberpunk, you know? And even the windows there, if you can see, are camera rear view mirror, side mirrors. So everything's all electric nowadays, even the wheels. God knows why they have that little thing there. I don't know, it's just cool, I guess. Alright, so we're on the second floor of the West exhibit hall. And here are all what we call the tier 1s and the tier 2s. There's some Toyotas there as well, that's all the way in the back there. Toyota, it's a little whitish. So most of these guys here make your EPS systems, your brake actuators, all the little small things that you put in the car, right? So we got NSK there. They make all the EPS, they make EPS stuff. They make some of the torque sensors. Well, they use our torque sensors there. They have the brakes as well. So we have KYB, Kayaba. And with Iwata NHK, so all of these guys here make the tier 1 stuff. We're gonna take a look around and see what they have to offer. Alright guys, so for an EV, what's important is the inverter system, and then you have the electric motor below. So the inverter, this thing here, is what controls the motor. So the bigger the motor, the bigger the inverter, and if you can see if there's a power card that I can find for you, it's that little thing there. And that's so you have like 3 of those or 6 of those which control 3 different phases of the motor, and that's what runs the EV motor. So if you think about it, this is the whole control unit, and then if you have a motor below it, that's it, that's the whole thing. So which is why everyone's going crazy about EVs, is because you can actually reduce the size of the engine tremendously, and you don't even need a gearbox after that. So, I mean, in terms of compactness, yeah, but then you got the issue of how heavy the battery is. So we can see how small this thing is. It's probably like, I don't know, a foot by a foot, and that's it. That's it, and it's really thin as well. That's it. Alright, we're at the Bosch booth. That's a mouthful. And we can see that they have the whole system right up here. All the way from the front, we got EPS systems, the motor right in front there as well. They got the, the ADAS systems. They have everything, including the e-motor at the back here as well. So, it looks more like a hybrid system. No, actually, no. Can't really tell. No, that's just like, yeah, that's just an electric power pack, traction inverter pack. So Bosch is one of the few companies that makes probably like, I would say a good 50% of all the parts of the car. And as you can see, like they have the power control module there as well. Zone ECUs in the middle there as well. Whole system, sir. For those of you who are familiar as well, Bosch also does injectors and certain spark plugs with the NGK stuff as well. So look at this, is the electronic power systems. That's the brake boosters. Oh, they're moving to 48 volts. So this is an electrical brake booster at 48 volts, mostly run in the hybrids, I would think. And that would be a hybrid motor. So it would be linked up with the power shaft of the engine. That's the output shaft, and runs on both. So we go from the left, this will be the Super One prototype, and we go all the way to the back with the Honda Zero. So this is the whole Honda Zero series. It's a new platform they're starting to push out. Hopefully, I think something around like 2028 to 2030 or something. And moving forward, from what I hear, is that in China, 500,000 of these will be produced per year from 2030 onwards. So Honda's going full EV. It seems like it'll at least a huge portion of their production coming 2030. So if we look at the front of the Honda Zero, actually looks like a Lamborghini of some sort. There's all the grills at the bottom there lighted up, mostly just for cooling the battery. So we don't see any more cooling off the engine anymore. This is more to allow air to go downwards underneath where the battery packs are. So unlike covered cars where the grills right up top, this is towards the bottom. And we can see that the same concept throughout all EVs that are on exhibition today. Everyone is swarming around the Honda Prelude. Boot. This is gonna be probably like the next Civic, I would guess. It looks really good. Of course, EV. What do you expect? I like the lines down the back, down the top. Looks very nice, very sleek. Well, everything's EV now. Can't really expect much. No more ICs, I guess. And this is the black version. So, I don't know, the paint seems a bit off from the top, isn't it? Like a different color. So everyone's swarming around these. I think these will be the next Civics of the EV. So we're moving towards the Mazda booth. I've always been a decent fan of Mazda. Their products are, you know, good. There's very good quality for the amount of money you pay. Some performance going on right now, I'm not sure. Oh god, it's that Miku girl. So this is the, you can't see it, but she's this cartoon character, anime character that everyone's going crazy about just because she's like fully animated and even the singing is all fake. So, I don't know. Alright, we're hitting the Mazda booth in a bit, so watch out. So there's a huge crowd here as well. Everyone's gathering to see the new Mazda EV concept. This was one of those. It was like going 100 horsepower. I can't remember. It looks really sleek, very nice. So, and of course, you can see that the lower grill is open for the battery. This looks very much like the current Mazda CX-5, just everything's pushed back a little, swept back a little. It's a four-door. Is this going to be? I don't see any handles. This is interesting. Very sleek, very nice. So people actually can go up to take a look there. Very nice. And here we have the Mazda Vision X Compact. Looks like a Beetle from the side view a little bit. It's a little rounded. I guess this will be good for a family car. Small, compact, and easy. So as you can see on the sides there as well, the mirrors are all electronic, all cameras now. It's not going to be mirrors anymore. So that means there's going to be a lot of safety features involved in making sure that those mirrors never go out. We are now at the Subaru booth, and we see an STI. Performance E concept. I love how they put the gold on the wheels. Very nice, very beautiful. Kind of like a matte blues situation here. Beautiful. A little big. It's very high up, and I would think this is just because of the whole battery at the bottom, just pushing everything all the way up. This kid's blocking my view. And of course, grills at the bottom again, just to cool the batteries. And I see some air vents for the wheels, maybe for the brakes. God, that is a 3-pot caliper on the brakes there. And of course, the mirrors are now being replaced with cameras, it seems. Oh no, is that mirror? Oh, it's still a mirror on the side ones. Okay. Alright, so we have arrived at this, what we call the time slip garage. So back to the 80s and the 90s, where we had all these nice cars. I mean, we got the DeLorean here. Very clean. Look at all that stainless steel. I mean, I don't even get one here in Japan, like seriously. Look at this. We got the Excelsior. This was one of the luxury cars you could get back in the day. 1991 models. Very beautiful. And of course, if we go here a little, I'm sure some of you know the Isuzus. Well, they're kind of like with the Daihatsus and stuff like that. If I'm wrong, let me know. So these were what cars used to look like. Proper, they had taste, they had their own flavor and stuff. It's not like nowadays where every car looks almost the same. You know, kind of boring. Is that a Pajero? No. Yeah, that's a Pajero. So this is a 1985 Pajero. Look how sturdy these are. Very well made. Could last forever. And they still drive, they still run in roads in America, or even sometimes here in Japan. And we come to the Rotaries, the RX-7. There's probably nowhere in the world you can find one as clean as this. I mean, look at this. This is beautiful. There is, the paint isn't perfect, but what do you expect? This is an RX-7. It's been decades. It's so beautiful. Look at the wing, the shape, everything says this is me. This is the flavor of Mazda. And of course, for all you anime fanboys out there, you know what this is. Buy your tofu, you get your tofu. There we go. Twin Cam i6 AE86. Beautiful, beautiful. Now if we go one step further back, we get the traditional Beetles. These were originally made in Germany. So all you Volkswagen Audi fanboys there, you Nazi asses, yeah, this is what you get. This spells the 70s to 80s. It tastes like that. And look at that, that is so cute. Look at this. I would think this is the first Civic that they ever made. Look how far they have come. You can see that that would be an i4 4-cylinder with the carburetors still there. We got the distributors and everything. This was old school. Look at those pistons, so cute. So there's going to be a lot more booths to go through. There's Yamaha, Mercedes, BYD, we got Hyundai, we got T at the back there with Hyundai, the Hinos. Those are mostly just trucks that are Hinos, right? So I'm not going to go through everything on the video, but just going to grab a few shots in here just to scan through so you guys can take a look at what's happening here at the Japan Mobility Show here in Tokyo. Okay, alright, so we've covered most of what we wanted to see today. And if we look at the map, it's surprisingly small because I guess they can't really put out much since the only thing that's coming out nowadays is just EVs, EVs, and EVs. The only gas engine I saw was the V6 from the Fairlady Z, and that was about it. I mean, there are some small ones as well, but most of what they're showing nowadays is all EVs. And these are all slated to be coming out 2030 and stuff like that. So, and they all look kind of the same, you know. Everyone's just copying each other. It's not much originality anymore. A lot of it goes into the safety concerns of how an EV should handle itself during a crash, because they are heavier and all that. So, I'm just gonna take a little bit more of a look around, snap some pictures. Alright guys, so that was it for the Japan Mobility Show. Went in a little bit, take a look at all the Toyota stuff, the Centuries, all the Isuzus. Basically everything's EV nowadays. So I'm not really too excited about it. It kind of looks cool, very much cyberpunk style. Like the white Sentry they had looked like the that taxi from Cyberpunk guy. I don't know. Well, it looks cool and all, but you know, I still kind of love my engines and the roar of the engines, the get of gasoline burning. Regardless, it's really packed right here. So I'll see you guys next time, and have a great day.